Hello everyone, this is English Tutor Hub official channel and welcome. In today's video, we're going to be looking at a complete guide to finite verbs. So let's get started. A finite verb in English is a type of verb that acts as the main verb in a sentence. The primary function of finite verbs is to show tense, as in they went, person as in I go, and number as in she goes. Some of the examples of finite verbs include go, come, eat, bring, mention, write, speak, learn, say, talk, tell, show, throw, grow, marry, wed, teach, study, confess, agree, argue, watch, and others. Let's discuss in details what is the definition of finite verbs, what are the types of finite verbs, what is the difference between finite and non-finite verbs, how to identify finite verbs in this video. This video covers what is a finite verb, finite verb examples, types of finite verbs in English, difference between finite and non-finite verbs, finite verbs list, finite verbs exercises, and facts or frequently asked questions. Finite verbs definition and meaning. What is a finite verb in English? A finite verb in English is a type of verb that acts as the main verb in a sentence to show tense, number, and person. Finite verbs are compared with non-finite verbs, which are verbs that don't show tense, person, and number. Let's break down the definition of a finite verb in points. A finite verb is the main verb in a sentence. B, a finite verb is also known as main or tensed verb. C, a finite verb is compared with non-finite verbs. D, a finite verb shows tense, number, and person. And E, a finite verb agrees with its subject. A bonus tip to understand finite verbs. Let's now discuss tense, number, and person. A, what is a tense? A tense in English grammar is a form of verb that shows time when an action occurs, as in, I was having a shower then. Having is a finite verb here, as it shows the time when the action of having a shower took place. B, what is number in English? Number in English grammar is a grammatical category that observes whether a noun or pronoun or verb is singular or plural to ensure subject-verb agreement. In other words, when we want a verb to agree with its subject, we look at the number of the subject, ensuring whether it's singular or plural, so that we can use a singular verb and a plural verb in case of singular and plural subjects, respectively. What is person? Person in English grammar is a grammatical category that shows the different roles displayed by different grammatical subjects in sentences. We have three types of person in English grammar. First person, second person, and third person, where the first person is the person speaking, the second person is the person you're talking to, and the third person is the person whom you're talking about. Finite verb example sentences. Number 1, she runs very fast. Number 2, I go to gym every day. Number 3, they went to the playground. Explanation. In examples mentioned above, the main verbs runs, go, and went are finite verbs because they A. agree with their subjects, B. show tense, and C. indicate number and person. Types of finite verbs with examples. As there are so many verbs that fall under the category of finite verbs, we classify them into different categories so that we can understand them properly. Below, we discuss the types of finite verbs with example sentences. A. Regular verbs. Regular verbs. Regular verbs are the ones that follow a certain pattern of conjugation or inflection. For example, they follow the ed. Examples: cook, cooked, cooked. Walk, walked, walked. Watch, watched, watched. B. Irregular verbs. Irregular verbs are the verbs that do not follow a consistent pattern of conjugation or formation. Thus, irregular verbs are formed by changing the vowels, for instance. Examples: Number 1, speak, spoke, spoken. Number 2, write, wrote, written. See, saw, seen. Number 3, or letter C, auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary or helping verbs are the ones that help the main verbs in sentences so that they can express tense. Examples: to be, is, are, and others. Number 2, to have, has, have, slash, has been, and others. 3, to do, did, does. D. Modal verbs. Modal verbs have the feature to give the subjectness to their subjects. Therefore, they are considered to be finite verbs. Examples: can and could, will and would, shall and should, may, might, and must. E. Linking verb. Linking verbs are the ones that connect predicate, nouns, or adjectives to their subjects. Linking verbs change their forms according to the number and person of the subject. Examples: is, am, are. Difference between finite and non-finite verbs. A finite verb is the one which shows tense, person, and number, whereas a non-finite verb is the one that doesn't do any of them. While finite verbs are the sentence roots, non-finite verbs are additional verbs in the sentence. Here are the differences between finite and non-finite verbs. A. Finite verbs change due to tense and subject's person and number. whereas non-finite verbs don't. B. Finite verbs are required for independent clauses, whereas non-finite verbs are not complete verbs. C. Finite verbs are the roots, whereas the non-finite verbs are additional. D. Finite verbs show tense, person, and number, whereas non-finite verbs don't. E. Finite verbs can be used as imperatives, whereas finite verbs exercises with answers. Question 1. Is a finite verb required for independent clauses? Answer: yes, it is required. Question 2. Does a finite verb indicate tense and person and number? Answer: yes, it shows tense, person, and number. Question 3. Identify finite verbs in the following examples. I went to the gym to exercise. She will go to the market to purchase a watch. I found it interesting. Answer: went, finite verb. To exercise, non-finite verb. Go, finite verb. To purchase, non-finite verb. Found, finite verb. And interesting, non-finite verb. Facts or frequently asked questions, finite verbs. What is a finite verb? A finite verb is the one that shows tense, person, and number. Finite verbs also agree with their subjects. Finite verbs are the roots of sentences. Finite verbs are used in independent clauses. What are 10 examples of finite verbs? A. She was sleeping then. B. I spoke to him last night. C. They knew I was there. D. Sophia is beautiful. E. John is handsome. F. We can inform you of the incident. Why have you come here? He fled to England. They wrote a letter to us. My name is John. Can there be more than one finite verb in a sentence? Yes, there can be more than one finite verb in a sentence. As in, I spoke to John and Sophia wrote a letter to Smith. How many types of finite verbs? There are mainly 4 types of finite verbs in English. They are: A. Regular finite verbs. B. Irregular finite verbs. C. Auxiliary verbs. And D. Modal verbs. This video ends here about a complete guide to finite verbs. Thanks for watching.